Hey everybody, Tony and it's Reggie coming at you from Heroes Unheard podcast. We're doing a retake on episode 1. Bringing this from the Voice 17104 studio. And we're super excited, Reggie. How about you?
I am stoked about this right now.
Yeah, so we'd love the opportunity today to tell you a little bit about what we're hopeful for out of this podcast, some other exciting news, and just give you a little bit of information about us and what to expect over the coming months of some episodes. So I think best to talk about what we're hopeful to do with this podcast, Reggie, and then maybe a little bit about you.
Okay.
So what do you envision for our podcast? What are you hopeful for that maybe we can get out of this opportunity?
One, basic education and the assistance that's needed for the first responders and veterans that we have in the community to actually fill that gap that we have right now. And that's what we need. Education to those individuals. What assistance is out there for them? What assistance we can get for them?
Yeah, I'm super hopeful for the same thing, so
Yes.
bringing that up. So one of the really great things that I'm hopeful that this is going to be able to do is really give us the opportunity to create a space for people to have a voice. And I think that's really what we took and really focused in on our naming convention, right?
Yes.
Heroes Unheard, the voices that need to be told. And that's going to come hopefully from the veterans, the military folks, the first responders, family members that are directly impacted because their loved ones are being impacted by the great work that they're doing for their communities and their country. And I, also super excited to hopefully bring some different organizations, right? Some of the people that are out
Yes.
there doing the great work because they're heroes too. Would
They
you
are.
agree?
They are. They're there
Yeah.
to support.
And sometimes their stories are untold or unheard because we don't know that they're out there doing what they're doing. I mean, you and I know we've been having some great conversations, but we'd love to bring to the forefront places like the studio, right, that we're
Yes.
broadcasting from tonight. As well as a bunch of the other organizations that are already out there, boots on the ground, helping these folks, and we need to bring a voice to their stories too.
Yes.
Fantastic. So tell us a little about yourself, Reggie. Like, what's I got to know you and I loved it. So what's your voice? I'd love to hear your story.
Well, a 34-year veteran coming out of the Marine Corps over to the Army. You're looking at me, I'm a person that's almost fell through the cracks without getting assistance and that I needed when you're talking about behavioral health and other issues like that and physical ailments. That's, at 34 years, we're there, we're pounding and we're being dedicated, but we don't take care of ourselves. And when we don't take care of ourselves, we end up as a detriment toward the family and loved ones that we do have. And they become victims as well when it comes to that.
Yeah, I love that. Right, a similar story here. As a veteran, combat vet, serving in the armed forces, coming out of that, really wanting to lean into finding filling that void that I had after I left the military. I really leaned heavy into the first responder world, and I've had great experiences on both ends. But certainly we've had some experiences that aren't so great, and I think.
Yes.
Walking the walk, but talking the talk. I went a long time, my personal self, not taking care of myself.
Right.
Falling into some of the pitfalls, thinking I could do it, thinking was weak, thinking that I couldn't let folks see that. And it was through reaching out, and it was through hopefully, or trying to find some of these programs that really has motivated me to want to bring this to so many first responders,
Right.
so many veterans, let them know that's not the case. Right, it is through our stories that is going to all help us, and it's really right. The big mission is to help them get back on the ground
Yes.
and do the things that they want to do. So by no means is it that we got to get rid of the stigma, buddy.
Yes.
Right? Would you agree with me there?
I do. The stigmatism that's out there when it says, hey, this stigma, well, this person is broken, you can't help them, or they don't want help. It's not the person that doesn't want help. Sometimes they don't know how to go about it. And I feel coming out of my service that I've sat there and had, I still want to be a viable person within the community that's still bringing forth and being a positive contributor to the community as a whole.
Yeah, I think so many people are doing that, right? I mean, I think that's another really great reason why we wanted to do this and why I'm super excited about it is being able to give stories and voices to some people. Maybe they're asking the same questions,
Yes.
like how can I help? How can I make meaning and purpose out of the experiences I've had in a way to maybe help the next person behind me or beside me, and they don't know how to get involved. And so I think it's really great for us through this and through the announcement we'll make in a little bit to be able to create a space where people come together and help each other.
Yes.
Right? We're just connecting folks and it is through folks like you and me and others that we've met with that have shared their story that it's through that we're going to find healing. And so I agree with you that it's not sure where to go or how to help, and I hope that this serves some purpose of connecting those two.
Yes.
All right, so this will be our first tag for anyone that's listening or continuing to follow through with us or follow us. Right, if you have a story that you want to share, I'm hopeful that you come in and have an opportunity to spend some time with us. At the end, we'll provide some contact information to reach out. And so if you yourself have a story, you know somebody that has a story, your family members would like to participate, or you are or know of an agency that's serving these populations, we'd love to be a medium to give voice to those things that you're doing, those things you're experiencing. And hopefully through that, right, we can help each other. So I'm super hopeful about that.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely see that as being a benefit of the podcast. Another thing that really we want to announce too is that we see the podcast operating under something we're super excited to announce about too.
Yes.
Is an arm of a bigger umbrella, which is the Heroes Unheard Foundation. So tell me about how excited you are about that.
Now that I'm truly excited about, because we can sit here and talk all day, but we need to show not just lip service, but action within the community. What are we actually out there doing? Like you said, boots on the ground. What are we going to be doing out there for these people, the first responders that are out there, the veterans that are out there that say they need assistance, their family members, also their loved ones. Can't sit there and discount loved ones. That's a huge thing, because some people aren't married, but they still have loved ones that are out there. They're an integral part within that extended family.
Yeah, I love how you put that, right? So we have this arm, right, that we're going to use as a way to create voices, share stories, bring people together. But, knowing, and as long as we've worked together, right, we also are doers. We want to do something, too,
Yes.
in addition. And so I see that's how the podcast works in with the foundation and vice versa, right? So our foundation component, we're looking to do some really great things, right?
Oh, yes.
Raise some money and some funds that we can help offset the cost of first responders and military and their families accessing care,
Right.
whether that's physical health, mental health for sure,
Yes.
treatments there. I see it as a potential to help folks that may have financial hardships,
Yes.
pay utilities if it helps them one more month until they're able to get on their feet,
Right.
rent payment, right? Or, hopefully if we're able to grow this thing, so even maybe some repairs to their home to make that safe
Yes.
for them and their families. We've talked hopefully about teach a man to fish or give a man a fish, right?
Yes.
And hopefully being able to provide grants for individuals to go to school or to get trades so that they can provide for themselves and their family.
Yes.
And reacclimate back to civilian life after they've served their community and they've served their country. And so these are really fantastic things that I'm hopeful for as we provide voices and bring awareness. We're also out there helping people access these things.
Yes.
So I'm excited about the foundation. And we got many other far-reaching goals and aspirations.
We do. It's a scaling program.
That
It's a
over the
scaling
years
program.
we'll get there. We gotta. I think you and I are so overly excited. We all want it to be right now, but we recognize that it's
Right.
a process. And so, hopefully as you stick along with us in the podcast and you come out to some of the events that we'll have, we'll talk about a couple that we have coming up. And some ways to follow us on the socials in different areas. So we have updates. I hope that everyone gets to see the scaling that we have ahead of us. That could also include, getting sponsors and sponsoring and donating for Easter baskets for kiddos around the
Yes.
holidays to help take some of that pressure and that stress off of the families
Right.
that could be experiencing physical health, mental health, financial hardships. Hopefully holiday meals, angel trees. We have a lot of great things already in the works this year that we're hopeful for. But with that, my man, comes the support, right? We need
Yes.
support. So if you listen to us or you're out and about in the streets, we'll have plenty of opportunities. If this is something that, again, you'd like to be involved in and tell us a little bit about it, we are more than happy to have anyone come on to the podcast, share their story, talk a little bit about a donation they'd like to make for us. We'll have general donations that will just be used at the discretion of the board. Or if you want to specifically sponsor, for instance, Easter baskets or a specific event or thing that we're doing, just let us know.
Right.
We'll earmark a donation for that. So we'll be out there a little bit doing our part in trying to give awareness to what we're doing and asking for community support for these tremendous heroes that are doing all the great things that they're doing. So with that, I'm super excited to tell them about our launch party. Right,
Yes.
this thing is taking off, brother. Tell them a
Yes,
little bit about
it
it, because I
is.
am excited for it.
So what we're looking at right now is February 20th, and we're looking at from 5 to 8 for your military people out there, 1,700 to 2,000 hours. We're going to be there at the Sons and Daughters of Italy. And the address is right off of Frici.
Here's one for Chitty. We'll have that address posted on our socials. There's an event page on our our Heroes Unheard Foundation Facebook page. There's an event that you can follow for all the updates. We've got tremendous raffles coming in. We got
Yes.
some exciting raffles that we're already posting. I think what we've posted so far is we got some Hershey Bears tickets in there, so that's
Yes, we
pretty
do.
great. We've got a couple of raffle baskets that are already making it. Let's go Pittsburgh Steelers. For those in the area.
Okay, if you're not a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, still please come out and support.
We
definitely
got
need
some other
that. Let's
commitments,
not.
and boy, are we sitting on something that is really hard for me
Yes.
not to announce.
But we're not going to. We're going to hold.
We're sitting on something big that we want to join. So make sure that if it's something that you're interested in, that you can go over to Heroes Unheard Foundation Facebook page, like it, share it, check out the event. Information for that address. We're just asking folks to RSVP. There's
Yes.
no cost to the public. This is on us to have some food, have some fellowship, have some connection. Representative Mattson is coming to give a few
Yes,
words
he will
as a
be.
distinguished guest. Huge supporter of our initiative, and so we wanted to give him space to talk a little bit. There's a bunch of sponsors already lining up, so I think we're going to have a great evening. So please, if you have an opportunity to come out, raffles, support us through donations the night of, we'll gladly accept it. So I'm super excited about that event.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they also need to make sure they understand that this is a non-for-profit organization they're coming out to sponsor.
Yeah, I mean, well, everybody that we have the audience, right? So we are 100% nonprofit here. My vision was really to turn as much money around that we bring into
Yes.
our local community. Surely we don't want to turn anyone away that may be reaching out for help, but we really have a hope and a vision that what we do is going to directly impact our local first responders that are, again, turning that back into our community.
Yes.
So your dollars are going to stay local. You and I
Yes.
are doing this volunteer, at least,
Yes.
right, as we're kicking this off. A lot of upfront costs coming out of our pockets. So we really want to make sure that we optimize as much donation and support we have to be felt by the first responders and by the military members and their family.
Right.
So I appreciate that. We'll have at the event or any event, we certainly have information for you guys for our EIN, and that's for donations for yourself. But whether that's time at upcoming events, whether that's through coming and sharing your story on the podcast, whether that's through monetary or even supplies, there's going to be so many opportunities to help us grow this thing for our heroes in the
Yes.
local community. So I'm super
I'm stoked
excited.
about it. I'm going to tell you
I
right
mean,
now.
I'm
I
telling
am.
you,
I'm excited.
It's an exciting
Hopefully
event.
the community comes out there, they support, and they actually see what's going on because you have local guys. It's not on a national level. We want to sit there and put back into our immediate community.
Love it.
That's the whole thing behind this.
That's
Our
what it
immediate
is.
community needs to be. They need to know that somebody's loving them out there.
They're loved, right? We need to make sure that they feel
Yes,
it. We need to make
yes.
sure that they hear it. I'm
We're quick
excited.
to ask for them to go out and do things. Come save me. My house is on fire. Or I need an ambulance ride. Come save me. Okay, that's great. And yes, we understand that's your job. But the emotional support that they are required at this moment, especially in this community that we have right now, it's a lot that's needed for them. And we need to know that they know that we care and that the community actually cares. And this is a way for them to find out.
Yeah, I mean, that was so very important. Thank you. It really underlines why we picked this name, right? We want to make sure they feel heard. We want to
Yes.
make sure that they know that there are folks, and there are folks that are out there fighting for them, and we just want to make sure we connect and do the best we can to bridge that gap between what's out there and what's needed. So I agree. The event on the 20th, I think we're going to blow the walls off of this place.
Oh, yes.
It's going to be a fun time. We're going to have a lot of great conversations, a lot of great stories. If anybody would like to share during the event, we'd love to hear it. You can reach out to us again through our Facebook page. We have a couple, obviously, through the podcast. You can reach out to us at Heroes Unheard Podcast. We have a Facebook page. We have an email,
Yes.
podcast@heroesunheard.org.
Yes.
So if you're interested in providing any support to the podcast, if you'd like to be a guest, you can hit us up on Facebook or through the email. Let us know what's going on. We'll get you scheduled. We got some episodes already planned out.
Yes.
We have Chaplain Mathers through the Interceding Foundation, who is a trauma chaplain in the military, and he's going to talk a lot about how he uses ministry to support soldiers and those that have experienced trauma in their service. Right. Excited to have him as a guest. We're going to talk about some innovative treatments. We've got a lot of people lining up that would like a little bit of space to share their stories.
Yes.
So follow us on our Facebook page, our Heroes Unheard podcast Facebook page, for updates on episodes where you can find us.
We want to make this a holistic event that we're involved in. That's the bottom line for it.
We're bringing it all together.
If there's a way to get it to you, we're going to do our best to get it to you.
Where there's a problem, we're going to find a way, right?
Yes.
And so if there's needs in the community and we don't have answers, we certainly are going to be on the ground finding them or creating them. So, we really want to be a resource. So again, reach out to us at podcast at heroesunheard.org. And then we have the foundation, which we are trying to live separately as well. So we also have the Heroes Unheard Foundation website page. Anybody that would like to support or want more information about the foundation can email us at foundation@heroesunheard.org. So
yes.
I know that's confusing. You get it to us, it's the same people. We'll make sure we get you in the right direction. But we do have 2 Facebook pages, so follow them a little bit differently there for updates and reach out to us if you can support us in any way. Mm-hmm. Another quick announcement, too, that we've put out on some of those Facebook pages as we're starting to build our following, right, is the Hershey Bears are having their Hometown Heroes game.
Yes.
February 8th. We've made a donation to that, and out of that donation, we're providing seats to first responders and their families. But we ourselves, as a foundation, have individual tickets we can give out. So, for folks that would be interested in spending a night with us, reach out to us at foundation@heroesunheard.org. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us why you'd like to join us that night, and we'll pick some folks that can come hang out with us on February 8th.
Yes.
At the Hometown Heroes hockey game, as a thank you to all the great support that you're doing for our communities. So. A lot of great announcements, a lot of great information. Follow our socials because that's where we're going to be able to update this and try to keep it in a way that's not so overwhelming and so confusing. Anything else for you, brother, for our first episode?
No. What's your name?
My name's Tony.
My name's Reginald.
All right, so reach out to us if you want to be on the show, if you have anyone that you know that would be a great guest, if you are part of an organization that supports us. We're calling all of you. We'd like to spend some time with you and hear your stories. So please reach out to us at Heroes Unheard Podcast on Facebook or email us at podcast@heroesunheard.org. We'll see you next time.
Yes.